Okay, my guess would be there might be some questions about Brittany, so I'll just address that first, and then we'll talk about these young women in the game. We have an amazing medical team here, and the entire medical staff's been working closely with Brittany since Sunday's game, with the fall. So, we really think that in these situations, you can't be too cautious, with any player and their health. So, we look forward to having her back in practice and competition just as soon as she's cleared, and then we'll go from there. In terms of tonight's game, I told the players, like, at the end of it, when people are crowning champions and doing NCAA seeds and stuff, nobody talks about each game. They just say wins or losses. And in some ways that's good. With this one, I don't know, there's too much film for the archives that we're going to, save for forever in terms of beauty. But the story, I think, is neat in that I think we showed a whole lot of toughness and a whole lot of heart. And I don't think that's going to show up, in the newspaper when it says win for Cal. But I think it's a big deal that we were able to win, without Brittany, simply because we rely on her to do so many things. I think it's a big deal that we took, a shot from them because they're a good team, come back at us, and we made some mistakes, made some turnovers. I couldn't be more proud of the whole team, but I think Rashonda was, in beast mode, as we call it, and everybody else fed off that, and I think Mercedes Jefflo was the hero. I mean, what a performance on so many levels. So it was a really team effort. I mean, Hart's 12 minutes were huge, and, Michaela Cowling, huge bucket at the end, and just Gabby's steadiness. But I think these two right here were exactly what you point to when you say leadership, and not because of the stats, but because of their demeanor on the court. So we'll take this one and learn a lot from it. And I think I learned a lot about our team, and we'll look forward to getting ready for Sunday because, we like sweeps in this building.
Shonda, can you talk about your final trip to the free throw line? Because it hasn't really been a great night.
Free throws. I'm looking
missed
like
the
a
same
baby
amount.
Shaq over here. I just once I couldn't go on my missed free throws previously. I'm back at the line to shoot two more. So that was just something I had to focus on, and it was a really tight game. So I definitely wanted to make my free throws and definitely concentrate and put a little separation between the score.
Lindsay, what was the strategy without Brittany?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the strategy was any different. I do feel like we have our most kind of balanced team in terms of lots of people with the ability to do a lot of things. So we knew Gabby and/or Jeff Lowe would spend a lot of time at the point. We moved, Courtney into the starting lineup. So initially, we wanted to take advantage of our length. We went with the 1-3-1 to start. I thought it disrupted them. The second half was so tight that I didn't go back to it, simply because I didn't want to let Corva or anyone get hot from three. But the strategy really was to play, a similar style. And we thought there would be more pressure. I mean, I think people respect Brittany so much they just don't press us because she can, one-man press break. So we thought there'd be more pressure. But there was really nothing different in terms of how we wanted to play. It was a little bit more, some people in different spots handling different types of things in the game, that they don't normally have to.
Can you take us through that last defensive player was like 33 seconds left when you were up 66, 64 and you needed to stop? Can you just take us through that last season?
Yeah. So when we're up two, we don't go into necessarily a switch everything like you might when you're trying to prevent a three, especially with the size that they have, right? If we were to switch out and give a layup, to a big in there, it would tie the game. So we sort of went with the principles that we were in, which was switching guard to guard, and having our posts be, hedgers, protectors, or whatever. And so I just thought it was critical just to get a stop. I think they, I can't remember.
I switched for Gabby.
Right, Jeff Lowe and Gabby had a switch. Jeff Lowe ended up, I think, on the ball handler, forced a tough shot. There was like a melee for the rebound, and I think we ended up tying it up, and that's where we had possession on the jump ball.
Jeff, can you talk a little bit about your shooting? It's been coming around.
She's a shooter.
The last few games, which is quite fortuitous, right? And today you came out again hitting threes to open up the offense right away for everybody. Talk a little bit about that.
I've just been practicing. Me and Coach G has a three-point shot challenge.
I'm losing that, but I have time to catch up.
Yeah, I just think being in the gym a lot, shooting, like working out with the coaches, and like transferring it into practice helps me to get it to the game. So yeah, repetition.
Follow-up question about the ball handling part. Like you and Gabby were playing point most of the game, and what impressed me was that even when they came back, you guys seemed pretty calm. Like you could have, panicked and because they were just right into your shorts.
I think Rashonda told us like keep your composure. Like you guys are doing like good, and everybody had our back on the bench and everybody else that was on the floor. So I think like just keeping our composure, knowing that our teammates had our back, like even if we did have a turnover, like helped us to be calm and do whatever Coach G needed us to do.
Jeffrey, did you feel like you needed to take on more of the scoring load, like just with Brittany and I to take on, obviously you had to handle the point more, but take on a greater responsibility in several different areas?
I thought I would have to like take on like a bigger responsibility like defensively, like stopping the ball, because that's what Brittany do. I didn't think offensively like I would have to do as much, but we needed it, so got it done.
Lindsay, do you think some of the turnovers early were a result of not having your point guard there?
I think they forced the third most turnovers in the conference. They put a lot of pressure. They're super athletic. No, I would. I mean, look, you're always going to want. Brittany's the best point guard in the country. And so you're always going to want her on the floor. But I thought the turnovers were a function of them pressuring. I thought we were a little fatigued. Obviously we played, the three guards, major minutes. And, they wore us down a little bit. I think they really came at us with pressure. We're trying to get it into Gray. But I think that's the style that UCLA wants you to play. And, we just had a couple costly ones, but I thought, in critical situations we were able to get the ball where we needed to get it.
What did they do differently in the second half, maybe defensively? Because it seemed like you guys got a bunch of assists early on, and then the second
Yeah.
half that just kind of dried out.
They went straight man-to-man. I mean, they started out in their zone, which gave us a lot of problems in LA. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but turned it over there quite a few times too. And I thought we were really prepared and really aggressive against their zone. We moved the ball beautifully. I mean, the first half, we did some really nice things offensively. I mean, I joke about it not being one to, save, because the second half was, scary in a lot of ways. But the first half, I thought we moved the ball really well. We picked apart their zone. Then they went straight man-to-man with a lot of pressure on us. And, it wore us down a little bit. I think we, if Gray had gotten 5 or 6 more touches, maybe she has 30, but we couldn't get it to her. And again, it's a credit to them and their pressure, but they just turned it up as we expected them. I mean, strategy-wise, that's what we expected from them. Anytime someone sees Boyd out of the lineup, they're going to bring the heat with that. And UCLA is more capable of doing that than some teams because they're really, really athletic.
Is it an adjustment for you guys, Jeffrey, to play without Brittany?
I mean, of course it's hard because I get the ball a lot of times from Brittany, but like, you can't dwell on Brittany not playing. Like, you have to keep moving. Like, the show doesn't stop. And luckily, we have other great backup point guards who's ready to step up. Like, we're sad Brittany's not out, but we have to keep moving forward, and she's working really hard to get back on the floor.
And we also have, obviously, Jeff Lowe and Gabby. We have 2 legitimate other point guards who just don't play the point because of Brittany. And then we have, 4s who can handle the ball. Michaela Callan can be a press break, a point 4 or a point wing. Courtney handles the ball. I thought Hart was really sure-handed when she came in, just to be able to get the ball where it needed to go. So it was definitely, a different effort from everybody, just because it's easy with Brittany. You give it to her and there you go, right? And sometimes we don't even realize how difficult that is, what she does. But I thought everybody else is fully capable of doing it when they need to.
The story has been, playing without Boyd and without Gray sometimes because, they're sitting comfortable. So back to that question for you, 35 minutes and 3 fouls, and it was clear that they were doubling you. They were trying to, go to
Going back to LA, they definitely sat like person in my lap and 2 people on my side. And I definitely watched a lot of film, and I definitely got in the gym, and I got some shots up, worked on my face up, my reverse, my spin. And I actually worked out yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday with Coach G. I had to get her out the office. But I worked out with her, and she taught me some new footwork, and that was definitely useful. And I try to roll it over into the game.
My thought process on that was, how many good things can you say about Rashonda, right? All the stats and all the numbers, but I think maybe her best quality is that she is relentlessly positive. So we're working out yesterday, and she was like, second time around, I'm gonna be better against them. I always am. Second time around, and we were working on some. Costa's a different matchup than the way other people play her. And so we were really working on getting around her and going by her. And I mean, I knew she was going to be ready. I was hoping that foul troubles wouldn't be an issue, because from a mental and physical standpoint, she was really ready. And you saw it. I mean, just in the way that she attacked her off the dribble, a couple times when we really needed it. So she put the work in this week. And this time of year, it's slight adjustments. You're not running a new offense. You're not doing brand new things, but you're tweaking things. Hey, I think we can get this player here or do that. And our team is, really smart with that. And I think they buy into the scouting reports and then do their job physically.